কথাই বলবো। হিন্দু ধর্মের কতগুলি আচার বিচার ব্যবহার আমি মানি না, কারণ বিজ্ঞান আমাকে অন্যরকম শিক্ষা দিয়েছে। কিন্তু সে তো ব্যক্তিগত ব্যাপার। যে পুজো দেয় বা যে চরণামৃত পান করে তার বিশ্বাসে আমি আঘাত দেবো এমন কথা আমি স্বপ্নেও ভাবতে পারি। মন্দিরের জলে কঠিন রোগের বীজাণু দেখা দিয়েছে, তাই আমি বলি এই অবস্থায় মন্দিরের জল পান করা, চরণামৃত পান করা বিপজ্জনক।
Memories and impressions of Tagore, drawn from family recollections and the stint in Shantiniketan and his readings, added to form a larger-than-life image of Tagore, almost as an icon for the times that he went on to explore in his documentary on Tagore to commemorate his centenary in 1961.
In the course of this message, Rabindranath said, I had at one time believed that the springs of civilization would issue out of the heart of Europe. But today, when I'm about to leave the world, that faith has deserted me. I look around and see the crumbling ruins of a proud civilization strewn like a vast heap of futility. And yet, I shall not commit the grievous sin of losing faith in man. I shall look forward to a new dawn, to a new chapter in history when the Holocaust will end and the air will be rendered clean with the spirit of service and sacrifice. Perhaps the dawn will come from this horizon, from the east, where the sun rises. On that day, will unvanquished man retrace his path of conquest, surmounting all barriers to win back his lost human heritage.
Shamapti, part of a 3-in-1 for the Tagore centenary, was a fresh beginning in more ways than one. With this threesome, he began scoring music for his films. This was the first time he was making short fiction films from Tagore's short stories as a more personal tribute to Tagore and in search of those crystals of experience that slip the more substantial views of life.
নেই কবে
মনে নেই যখন ছোট ছিলাম তখন
বাবা
মরে গেছে
তবে তোর আছে কে কেউ নেই তুই একা থাকিস আর পোস্টমাস্টারে কাজ করিস
As he reforged his emotional links with Tagore and his time, the sense of a family inheritance drifted in through association. he started toying with the idea of reviving Sandesh.
In 1960, on a Sunday, I think, we sat chatting about this and that, and I had a poet friend of mine, Subhash Mukherjee, who casually suggested that why don't we revive this magazine. It immediately struck me as a very interesting idea. And we, on the spot, we decided to revive Sandesh. This was 1961.
A loyal team of collaborators still keep Sandesh alive as a modest enterprise. His son Shondeep has taken on from where he left off. Sandesh made demands on Ray, compelling him to turn busy writer, producing a rich supply of translations of limericks, original stories, fantasies, and science fiction, all with his own illustrations. In a few years, he had emerged as a major writer for children. Simultaneously, he went on illustrating contributions by other writers too, in a wide range of styles. Deeply involved in the nitty-gritty of productional design and layout, Ray found a special delight in designing the covers of this ever-popular children's periodical.